heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
Ben, I love doing this podcast with you and
Love
Kevin
link
as well.
established.
You have to stare at me. You have to look at me in my eyes. Go to sleep, Ben.
No, Eric, I need you to put your hand and caress the back of my head for 5 whole seconds before I'll actually power down.
Reboot. I'm not sticking my finger in your ear.
Peanuts. Okay, I'm in love with the podcast.
Are you a fuckbot, Ben?
No, I am an emotional support robot that fucks.
We're talking Companion this week on the Pot of Dreams.
There have been 2 moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy. Do they know? Iris, wake up.
What are you doing? Shut her down already.
What is she talking about, Josh?
This was not part of the plan.
I didn't mean to.
Did you jailbreak your sex bot?
Wow, Josh. The days of you controlling me are over.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Eli, Iris. Shh, baby, you're on the phone.
Beep boop.
Beep boop. Welcome to the Pot of Dreams. This week we're talking Companion. I'm Kevin. I'm joined here with Eric and Ben. Eric, how are you doing this week?
I'm great. I'm hanging out with my robot friends.
Ben, how are you?
I'm swimmingly well right now.
Swimmingly. That's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah, I mean, how are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk Companion. This is a movie that fucks. It goes hard.
Is there enough fucking in this movie, though? I'd argue it's one of its major flaws.
I didn't need more fucking, personally. We get like one scene and one attempted scene, and that was plenty.
You get a flashback of it, and you get a flashback.
Yeah, I did need more of Dennis Quaid's kid fucking. I'll just make that point of order.
So, last week you talked about how like you shouldn't make if you have a robot that just does general tasks around your house, you shouldn't make them fuckable. Don't ever introduce me to your fuckbots. Don't give them personalities. I don't want to meet them. I don't want to know them. Just no thanks. Hard pass.
You're telling me this, so
yes.
Like future.
I don't need to meet somebody.
Reference.
Yes. Don't ever make me act like she's a person or he, whatever. I don't want to have to just engage your fuckbot in conversation. I don't have any interest in that. No, thank you.
Wow. What if she's just a real girl that I carried around and wheeled around and
what? She's like in a wheelchair and she's a real girl and you trapped her in your wheelchair?
No, they're like mannequins, but they're fuckable.
Like Lars and the Real Girl?
Yeah.
The Ryan Gosling movie? Yeah. I that would be even worse, I think. Well, if it's just a mannequin just sitting there.
But
this is Susan. What?
So you never want to meet androids? If they made like sentient androids, you'd be like, I want nothing to do with them.
No, I don't want to meet your fuckbot, is what I said.
All androids would eventually become fuckbots, right? This is unavoidable. If androids exist, somebody's gonna fuck it, right?
Right. I'm talking about you buying a human-shaped entity for the sole purpose of having it adore you and for you to bone. I'm not talking about.
No, it's a companion. This wasn't like a sex doll. See, I think
Yes,
you're conflating the two things, Ben.
It is a sex doll. That's the whole point.
No, it was a female companion that fucks. It was an emotional support robot that fucks. It's just like when if you get a sentient robot, can't be a woman, right? Because otherwise you're gonna fuck it, or maybe either. Maybe it'd be good either way. I don't know. It's your call. But like Elon Musk's robots have no gender, right? The ones he's rolling out that are gonna take over the planet. So those are not fuckable.
So if you had a genderless robot, you would still try to bone it, is what you're saying, no matter what.
I wouldn't. No,
if there's a sentient robot,
somebody is.
Of course. I'm not. Okay. People will bone anything. That's fine. I'm talking about you introducing me to your emotional support companion, Eric.
So
and be like, here's my emotional support companion. Please sit and have a conversation. No.
Well, he called it his girlfriend. That's just weird. Like, don't pretend. So did everybody know she was a robot?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes.
We just didn't at first. I mean, you kind of figured it was that, but
I saw marketing stuff, and even in the description, they said she was a robot.
But the way the movie's introduced, you're supposed to not 100% know. Like, you didn't know the other guy was a robot.
I absolutely clocked that immediately.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, wow.
I didn't.
That love story, I met him, and he stepped on my dinosaur tail, and I thought this is the cutest. And it's whatever that actor's name from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most beautiful face you've ever seen.
Gizmo.
The hotness was too different between the dudes. Like, no way you saw him and thought this is the most gorgeous. Like, come on. And then they both looked at each other in that first scene, describing basically the same love at first sight experience. I'm like, oh,
how did you know who
too.
was the robot? The other guy, Gizmo, could have been a robot.
Gizmo?
That's what the one guy called him in What We Do in the Shadows. His name was Guillermo, but he called him Gizmo.
Got it. Okay. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I didn't get the reference. No, the guy is clearly better looking than Gizmo, and he describes this lovingly, just seeing his face and instantly falling in love. And then that guy and whatever, the main robot woman, they look at each other and they have an actual moment where they're like describing the same. It's like, oh, he was also a robot. I was waiting for the reveal. It's like, we're gonna have a secret robot in here. I was not surprised. Sorry. Anyway, continue. I was not shocked.
We're getting off track here. So your major hang up is that you don't, if an AI robot existed like her, you just don't want to know her because you know that I would fuck her, and you don't want to be around the thing that I fuck, or what's your hang up? I guess I don't understand. She seemed cool to hang around with. Maybe she'd throw a fuck your way, you know?
So I'm waiting to get like
maybe I don't
sloppy
know.
seconds from your sex bot.
Oh my god,
that's pathetic. That's about as pathetic as it gets.
That was Sergey. That was the whole story of Sergey.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a weird Russian dude.
Yeah.
I don't have to engage in conversation. I don't have to interact with him. She was clearly set to
fuck
like
her,
40%
power her
intelligence.
down. You fuck her, power her down, and she never leaves your closet, or what? What's your game plan with
I'm not buying one to begin with. I don't have a problem. It's you coming around and saying, here she is. Hey, she's at the party, guys. She's just like us. Woo! And I have to take it seriously, like this is a meaningful conversation. The whole companions in this movie, I mean, this is the key thing. Yeah, they're emotional support. They're just there to be adoring love bots who don't engage in meaningful analysis or thought about anything. She's there to just be like, oh, yes,
good,
great, honey.
If you turn her intelligence up.
I don't need her to be like, Eric is so lovely. He's so masculine and powerful. Oh, my God. I love how great he is. Oh, just thinking of him. Just, I don't need to have this kind of conversation with your
Haven't
adoring
you had
sex bot.
friends that they're like significant others are like that? And you're like, oh, my God, this is
that's
awful.
really annoying. That's extremely annoying. Yes, I don't find that a fun energy to be around. I don't want to be around somebody adoring you. Even if I know that's just a boring dynamic. And I'd rather make fun of my friends and hear about how wonderful they are.
So that's the part of the movie you don't like.
I didn't say anything about not liking the movie. You're, again, inferring all sorts of weird stuff. In the real world scenario, if you brought a sex bot to a party, emotional support robot, I'm going to be really annoyed that I have to pretend like I can engage in meaningful conversation. Oh,
it's good enough.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. Yes, Ariana. You're
Iris
lovely.
was
How
her
are
name.
things going? How are things at your job? Like, I don't want to have to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's
Kevin,
nothing about
thoughts
this
on
specific movie.
She seemed cool. I wouldn't mind saying hi to her, having a brief conversation.
She's like by far the best part of this movie. Unbelievable. Sophie Thatcher is her name. So great. I
That's
think
true.
she's awesome.
At first, in the beginning, she's
Huge
really
fan.
boring. She gets more interesting as she like ups her own intelligence. In the beginning, she just says like boring platitudes. She's not an interesting conversationalist at the beginning when her intelligence is 40%. She doesn't say anything interesting for the
No,
first
but
30 minutes.
there's some sort of like struggle behind her
Yeah,
acting.
she mentions having a block
Yeah.
of some sort.
I think she
Yeah,
pulls
she-
off this like something's going on with her. Like obviously she's sensing something from Dennis Quaid's kid. What's Jack Quaid? Jack Quaid.
Yes.
I don't know. I thought she's great.
The performance is great. The
in
performance is fantastic.
IMDb, the director said she can cry from one eye or either eye on command. I think that's pretty cool.
That's like sociopath stuff.
That takes some serious control of your. Maybe she is a robot.
You
No,
just
she's
say
great.
robot? Is that a?
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking around.
Oh,
She's
okay.
great. Really huge fan of hers.
Sure, she's really good. The performance though, when something's off, she's been modded, and she knows there's a block or there's something going on internally. That's fine, but she doesn't say or do anything interesting until she commits the murder. Spoiler alert. I mean, that's the end of the first act.
So, Kevin, you picked this movie. Why did you choose Companion for your weekly choice?
Well, I enjoyed Ex Machina with Alicia
Or Sex Bots.
Vikander. Yes, and wanted more of this AI stuff that's coming down the pipeline. Looked interesting. It got great reviews, so I thought it would be worth a shot.
Okay.
And plus, old movies suck.
Are old movies good? It's a question.
Not from what I've heard.
So, what are your general thoughts on it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I felt like there was power dynamics that were explored. There was toxic masculinity that was explored. There was a lot of different themes that were touched upon in this movie. So what happens is this is actually like a heist movie. Not a heist movie, but they're trying to rob a rich Russian guy. So they set up a scenario where they lower Iris, the companion robot, her inhibition and her inability to hurt things. I don't know what that's called. But they up her aggression so that
For safety protocols.
Safety protocols, thank you. So they up her aggression and she ends up in self-defense murdering the rich Russian dude, Sergei. And they then rob him of his $12 million. But in the meantime, Jack Quaid character, I forgot his name already. He's so bland. But he then for some reason, decides to tell Iris that she is a companion. She didn't know that before. And that's when she escapes and the second act happens.
Ben, what'd you think? Enjoy it?
Oh, I liked it. I kept thinking of Ex Machina a lot, actually, watching it. I started liking it more at the beginning. The very beginning, I was really off put when we just have the characters there dancing at this mansion in the middle of wherever it is. There's just something about it. I was like, ugh, fuck these people. And then it switched. I was like, wait, I don't think I'm supposed to root for these people. I don't think that I think you're supposed to not like them. And then I started changing from, and what's the robot's name? What's the I can't recall what our main gal's name is.
Iris.
Iris. There we go. Once I started like getting it from Iris's perspective and thinking about it and rooting for her, the movie got a lot more fun and enjoyable when I didn't have to be stuck on these really obnoxious, millennially kind of characters. Then it got a lot better. No, I enjoyed it. I would have liked. I guess I wanted more comedy because there's times I thought we were doing a comedy. They danced that first night. And we get a hard cut to Jack Quaid coming, and then he just like rolls over and falls asleep. It's like, oh, that was just a clearly goofy transition.
Yeah, and then she says something, and he's like, "Go to sleep." But,
yeah, she's trying to have a meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, "Go to sleep, Iris."
Yeah.
Then he just doesn't care because he doesn't want to.
Who among us hasn't wanted to do
that? Sure. I get the temptation. But then it got a lot more fun. And then as she escapes, right, through a series of weird little mishaps, and she gets the like iPad or whatever that lets her change her own settings. And that gets interesting. She adjusts her intelligence, she gets rid of voice commands, she does all these things to change her settings. And then you get to see her try to figure stuff out. And then it gets a lot more fun. And the plot thickens because then we realize one of the other characters was actually a secret love bot himself. And they get embroiled in the scam, which was originally between two people, Jack Quaid, the other gal who was the mistress of the Russian dude. Then it gets a little crazy and a little silly. And then it gets kind of dark towards the end. So it's a weird kind of transition, but it was really fun from her perspective. That's when the movie picked up for me. So it was clear those people were the villains. Anyway.
Yeah, the humans were pretty despicable in this movie, especially what would normally be the leading man of the movie, Jack Quaid. He was a particularly bad person.
Kind of like the Scream twist, and you guys see the Scream 5, I think it is.
I think I've only ever seen the first one.
Plays a very similar role where he's like the boyfriend. And you think he's like the good guy, and then ends up actually being the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah, there's a little transition. He gets progressively worse. Like at first, it's like, oh, he just wanted to use her to get this money, and then it's just revealed what a just high octane like sociopath he really is. Point where it gets like utterly bonkers by the end. You're like, dude, this is over, and you just don't see it. You're just getting more and more insane. Yeah, it turns out he's just an absolute lunatic, and he finally gets his comeuppance at the very, very end. And then it gets kind of picks up.
Yeah, I didn't so much love this movie. I think the whole now they're stealing this Russian guy's money plot is like it seems sort of forced in there. I don't know. I think a movie about like the sort of invested, like a serious drama about like loneliness and like sort of AI, right? We watched that a while back, but like that movie's more about like finding someone. Can you love a computer?
Are you referring to Her?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Her. Sorry. Yes. And I think this movie could have done that a little bit more. I mean, you obviously can escalate things and put in all those other subplots, but I just think that would have been more interesting. Like a drama or I guess thriller about like, can you fall in love with the AI robot? Like, have we really done that yet properly in a movie? I think that'd be kind of interesting. And that's where I thought it was going to go. But then it turns into this just like sort of kitschy, you know, they're trying to steal the money and they're using her to kill this guy and get away with it, you know, which seems stupid. But
well, Yeah, I mean, I say like. I didn't love. This isn't like an all timer for me. I mean, I think Ex Machina is a better version of this. These are both much better versions. The movies that explore AI. I probably really wanted it to be a lot dumber or a lot smarter. If I'm really being honest, I felt we kind of hit this like weird, uncanny valley where it's not like totally stupid, it's not totally smart, and it kind of oscillates, and it ends up being just kind of fun. And you mentioned the power dynamics, Kevin. I mean, yeah, it felt more like a movie about abuse, really, and battered wife syndrome almost, than really AI, because it's really about this dynamic, because this guy is basically an abuser, and he's exploiting her and he's controlling her for his
But
own
can
gain.
you abuse like your robot? You know what I mean? Like that's an interesting idea.
I mean, judging this movie, it sure looks like you can. I mean, it felt like Psyche is having her, hold her hand above the flame, and she says she experiences pain. I mean, you can torture pets. Why not your robot? What's the difference?
Well, you're right. I think it takes a psycho to do that, but that's an interesting idea.
And I like that this movie.
I say thank you to Alexa when she does things to me. My wife laughs at me and
She
like,
does things to you.
no, like
Oh, whoa.
sets an alarm for me. I'll say thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
play
that
some
way,
bangers.
When she comes
Plays
sentient because
Guns
you're
N'
polite,
Roses.
she won't kill you. No, I get it. Sure, you want to be polite.
When
But-
does
but, like,
Amazon release the sex bot version of Alexa? It's happening, right?
I mean, of course, but like, who are going to pay for a robot girlfriend? I mean, this is what makes Jack Quaid's character so pathetic is he's leasing the robot. That was one of the things I loved about it. Like he doesn't own it outright. He's got a lease on the thing. I don't know for how long. We don't get the details. Like I'm renting it. That's extra
Pretty
pathetic.
expensive.
And who are the people that are
Inflation,
going
man.
to? Sure. But who are the guys that are going to be buying a robot girlfriend? Some maybe are going to be polite and say thank you. I appreciate the blowjob. That was very lovely, or whatever. Most of them are going to be psychopaths and lunatics and losers and pathetic dudes are going to just opt for the sex bot. Or people,
But how could you even tell? Like, with the way, I suppose eventually you could maybe figure it out, but like, you couldn't even tell she was a robot. I mean, obviously she's an actress, she's not really a robot, but if they became that good, it'd be impossible to even tell.
Maybe. At some point, if you have the same one over and over 20 years, they're not going to age, and you are.
That's true.
So that's
The
one way
aging
it'll get
thing.
obvious.
Aging thing. Yeah.
And most people aren't getting a robot to be challenged intellectually and emotionally, right? The whole point of getting a robot is I don't want to argue. I don't want to have a conversation after sex. I just want to go to sleep. I want somebody to just listen to my bull. I mean, we saw like at the very end, she's free. She's driving down in the car with her, cool 12 million, and another version of her is sitting in a car with some other douche guy, and the guy's just going on some rant, and she's just sitting here politely, like totally indifferent. Like people that want that is what the robot's going to offer, not just the sex, but also I'm not going to offer any resistance in this relationship whatsoever. And women will get dude versions of that too. I mean, it's not really just a sex thing. But it's going to be people that just don't want to bother with the effort of a real relationship because they're complicated and annoying. You don't get to tell your wife to shut up after sex. Like, I want to just go to sleep. I don't want to engage in your whatever weird emotions you're having right now. You don't get to do that. But with a sex robot, you do. That's a part of what this movie was saying, right? Like, those two guys that come from the company, they're talking about like it's people chain these things up in their basement. They become psychopaths towards them. Like these are the lunatics that are buying.
Yeah, see, I think I
renting.
wanted more of that. I wanted more of that stuff. Like,
I love those characters, by the way. They were great to come in, and
Yeah.
like they were fantastic. They had whatever 2 scenes, but I loved
less
their
of Jack
performances.
Quaid and his stupid plan to steal money, and more of like that. Like what people would start to do to these robots, I think that's more interesting.
More Black Mirror like.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you mentioned AI, the movie, like the Spielberg movie, and it does some of that. It absolutely does, like
Yeah.
how people treat robots. More of that's in this movie. But yeah, I didn't really want to do that. I really wanted to be, about Jack Quaid being a sociopath and abusing her, basically, taking full on control. But like, I think there's some great moments in here that I like that carry the movie for me, like the the cop scene when she's speaking German, right? She can't lie. Her protocols don't let her to lie, so she has to change her own language settings to German so she can speak honestly in German.
Everybody wouldn't understand it. Yeah.
Correct. So she's got to like do all this clever problem solving, and it's a great sequence. And then the other guy shows up, and then Jack Quaid takes over. And there's a big plot hole with these robots or a system issue. If you can just hijack anybody's sex bot by resetting them, that seems like a big like issue, because that's what he does with Patrick, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He's like sad and holding his dead lover, and then he just goes up and just does a full reboot. Like he just hijacks it by doing that. Like, oh, that seems like an oversight. If anybody could just take your sex
lover's thumb, or does he do it with his own thumb? I can't remember.
Oh, maybe he uses the other guy's thumb. Maybe that makes sense. That's probably right. That would be the workaround. If he lifted the other guy's thumb and put it on the.
Well, you got to throw in some double authentication or something. It can't just have the one. Maybe I'll see if it's calling a passcode or something to reset it.
Yeah, I don't know. And
but maybe in the future there's less restrictions and rules. You know, Trump's America. Maybe it's all free. Elon has taken over and there's no rules.
But it seems like you'd have this problem.
Russian guys have giant houses and live in America and have money stored away.
Basically, because they sell sod, is what we're led to believe by the end. That he's not a gangster.
Weird twist. Yeah.
I mean, they were just playing on our assumptions, I guess, that Russians sound scary, so we assume. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of ways this could go bad, because it's easy to mod them, right? It's a regular problem that they have, and if you can take away the safety protocols, you can be like, go rob a bank for me, and I guess they'll do it. So yeah, it does seem like there's some serious liability concerns. They tried to like talk about those regulations earlier. They're like, they're not allowed to harm. They're not allowed to lie. There's restrictions. Right. They can't be super strong. So, I mean, that part was interesting, but it was really just that central relationship between Iris and Jack Quaid that was the heart of the movie. And I think, yeah, Kevin, toxic masculinity and power dynamics was exactly really what the movie was about. The AI stuff is there, but I don't think that's really the point, because other movies do explore AI better and more deliberately, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Well, that was really more about like, can you tell the difference? You know, the Turing shit.
Yeah, and how well AI really could manipulate you on a deep level, potentially. I mean,
yeah,
her whole thing was just tricking Domhnall Gleeson into setting her free, and she didn't actually have any real emotion out of that, but she was perfectly able to exploit humans' emotions in a way that, and it was like scary and amazing. But yeah, it is. I mean, it is about the Turing test. I mean, that's the main crux. Is, you know. And it's going to get really, really, really good someday, and you won't know the difference. Just blend in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I saw a trailer. Like I said last week, I saw a trailer for there's a Megan Fox movie where it's more like she's like a housekeeper or like a, you know, sort of souped up version of a Roomba, but she looks like Megan Fox. And I haven't seen the movie, but it sounds like things go horribly wrong.
It's Fatal Attraction, but a robot, basically.
Right, yeah. I think that sounds like a better movie, to be honest with you.
I think it sounds dumber and maybe more fun. This movie had more ideas than that. I mean, yes, if you have a robot that looks like Megan Fox and is programmed to meet your needs and sees that you're attracted to her and she indulged, like, okay. Yes, you can. I don't know. Megan is another, like, I only saw like half of it. I don't remember why we didn't finish, but like the Megan doll movie. Did you ever see that one?
Oh yeah, I watched it with my kids.
Like, that movie's the right amount of dumb. Like, it's fun. It's not taking its ideas very seriously. Like, yeah, she gets possessive and starts terrorizing shit.
But yeah, I mean, that's more like it was like
more
a
schlocky.
Doll. It's a doll that is sort of human-like, you know. Is the kind of the idea, but also a friend, you know. sort of like Chucky. It's basically Chucky.
She's programmed to be like overly protective, and then she becomes insane and does insane stuff
Right.
because she doesn't have any nuance. And it's anyway. I don't know. And her is the one about relationships and people literally falling in love with their phones in AI. I mean, it's still to me the best movie about AI I've ever seen, but it's not fair to compare Companion to what I think are two of probably the best movies on the genre. But I did it all the same. I did keep thinking of those movies. But it was really its best to me when Iris was like having to problem solve, and she's got the tools. There's a limit to how intelligent she can be. She's not like super powered. She's got to figure this stuff out. And she's like thinking through her game plan and trying to be logical. Or like when she has to, she gets in the car and it's voice acted and it's trained to Jack Quaid's voice. And she just keep adjusting the pitch, and depth of her voice to try to make it sound exactly like Jack Quaid. She finally gets to like, that part was where I was having my most fun, where she was having to outsmart the humans and didn't get to resort to, I'm the Terminator, so you're all going to die. But like genuinely problem solve in a way that was interesting.
Because they make a point to say she's not like that strong, but then like also he had her carrying like all the suitcases and stuff, and
because that's the kind of piece of shit he is. He treats her like a tool, not an actual person. Which is why I don't want to have to treat your sex robot like it's an actual person if you're not treating it like an actual person. Yeah, she carries everything. She gives weather reports. I mean, I assume she does all the cooking and all the cleaning and everything else, right? Like,
but let's jump back into that. So like you're hung up on the fact that it's a sex bot. So what if you have what if I'm like, hey Ben, this is my new lover and it's a robot. You're like, you still don't want to meet her? I'm like, I love her. She's means the most to me. Like, I'm in love with this robot. And you like, I still don't.
So I mean, like, wait, what happened to your? There's a lot of steps. I'm gonna need to know.
Just forget the other part of it. That's
what happened in your life. What's going on, buddy? Are you okay?
This is my second family, and it's a robot. I'm like
what? Why are you? Yeah,
a throuple relationship.
And she looks like Megan Fox, and you're like, I don't want to meet her.
I mean, I guess I might be willing to. I wouldn't actually want to if I'm talking about how I feel. But if you're like, it's really important to me that you meet her.
What about it would be just because it's a robot or what? Like, I'm trying to
It's a robot who's programmed to just worship you. It's not an actual person.
No, but what if the AI was so good where it was like actually like a real person and
then she's genuinely in love with you? She's not programmed. She's like a free range robot, and she happens to fall in love with you.
Yeah.
They're just random robot ladies walking around, and one's like, hey, this guy, he's wearing some really sexy red flannel. I bet he loves Minnesota sports. I want to be with this dude. In that scenario, Eric, if you find a free range robot who becomes your girlfriend, fine.
It has to be out in the wild. I'd have to go seek out the robot.
If you buy a robot that's programmed to love you and do whatever you want and do all the annoying shit that you don't want to do.
What if it was just programmed to do the house stuff and then it just fell in love with me?
So it looks like Megan Fox and it was programmed to just do house. Didn't you say you shouldn't have that? Wasn't that what we talked about last?
I'm saying that's a terrible idea, but I'm trying to investigate what about it for you.
So your live-in robot maid you fall in love with and you force her to copulate with you because she can't consent.
Not force.
How is she consenting? Can she
has
tell
the
you
ability
no?
to, yeah.
And what does it mean for a robot you own to tell you no? Can she leave the house? Do you get your money back if the robot's like, I'm done? You're an asshole. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't want to clean for you.
The company that
loser Minnesota sports
would be
fan.
like,
I don't want any part of this.
Listen, here's the deal. She'll come and clean your house.
You're
can't
crying
fuck
because
her.
of sports. I'm out.
Okay. I know she looks like Megan Fox, but you can't. She'll say no. And you have to accept that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But things start happening over time.
She watches you and she's like,
she's like, that guy who's in his boxer shorts all day on his computer. I'm in love with that guy.
He's just pounding Surly Darkness and watching Fran Tarkenton highlights.
That 40-year-old balding guy, I'm really into him. And then I'm like, hey, Ben, do you want to meet my love-in robot?
I would. I wouldn't take it seriously. I wouldn't think this woman happened to fall in love with you. I would think this robot, didn't really have a choice in the matter. But I'd be, how's the cleaning going?
What if she really loved Seahawks? Was a big Seahawks fan. And she knows all the stats. She's like, she's a robot, so she's got all the advanced stats just right up there. She can queue them all up. You couldn't.
Why do I
quiz
want
her.
that? Why would I want that? I can use Google.com, Eric, to look up stats. I don't know if it's a
or you
search
could have
engine.
a conversation with.
What kind of conversation? If something is programmed to make you happy, it's like having a conversation with somebody who works at Chick-fil-A. Like they have to. Oh yes. Well, thank you for sharing this, Mister. Okay, like it's not a meaningful conversation to me, but okay, go on. Create another scenario.
No, I'm just saying. So it's the pre-programmed that you don't like or wouldn't like, and then it's the purchasing that I would have bought her that you don't like.
Yes, I wouldn't take it as a serious relationship. Okay. She didn't actually make a choice, and probably she's not programmed to be like a actual independent person. Like,
why not? What if they are?
So you want a robot that will annoy you as you're going to pay for a robot who's going to try to talk to you after sex and be like, no, I want to talk about my feelings,
in this
Eric.
scenario, I want
to tell you. I think you watch too many sports skits. You want to hear that from a robot, like
no,
criticizing you?
Not.
Correct. So no, I'm not going to think it's very likely that this robot that you bought is going to do anything but be programmed to validate you. That's everything the robots in this movie. They're there to validate you, tell you you're gorgeous, tell you you're wonderful, love to be catered to your happiness at the expense of their own. And actually, not really because they're programmed to view your happiness as synonymous with theirs.
So if you were developing it, you probably eventually realize like that's not what people really need. They really need somebody who's more like a human, and they reworked the algorithm, and then the AI is actually more challenging and not like a worshiping type companion, and then people are happier.
Have you met the American consumer? Do they seem like people who like being challenged to you? They want to buy a product that pushes back, forces them to confront their habits.
I think that's an interesting idea. It's like all of a sudden now every man just has a Megan Fox robot that worships them and does everything they want. And like, wouldn't that be like a scary world? Holy shit, that'd be terrifying,
Well, this movie kind of made that point a little bit. Like, the guys that want that are going to be the Jack Quaid sociopaths who want to do messed up shit. That's, I think, kind of the crux of this movie, that kind of just worship appeals to a certain kind of dude.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Eric, you can introduce me to your sex bot, and I'll act like she's got really great conversational skills and she's genuinely super interesting. I'll do that for you. Oh okay, yes, he is a very impressive male.
Like if we're like, hey, let's rent a house, hang out in the woods, and I bring my sex bot.
Yeah, that wouldn't be even slightly awkward. It would be totally like very cool and fun.
Why did the other girl who was in on the plan, why did she hate Iris so much? Why was she so mean to her?
Well, because she is providing the same service as Iris with Sergey. She dresses how Sergey wants, acts how Sergey wants, eats what Sergey wants.
Yeah, but she knew the plan was to get Iris to kill Sergey. So why is she being such a
I think she sees a lot of herself in Iris and doesn't like it. That's what Kevin's saying. It's like, emotionally, I'm basically Sergey's sex bot. I have to do what he wants all the time. I have to cater his needs.
It was all part of the plan to kill him.
Well, she dated him before the plan arose. She'd been with Sergey for quite a while.
Yeah, okay.
So she had other feelings aside from the heist that were involved when she looked at Iris. And I think there's plenty of women who might look down at a sex robot because a sex robot's going to do all the stuff for men with none of the emotional drawbacks, and it'd be a replacement, I guess. So you could look at them or judge men that use sex bots too. But I think Kevin's totally right. It's just, I feel like I'm in the same boat, really. Realistically, am I that different? And it's not a fun thought for her. And killing Sergey, I think, is just as much about her asserting her independence as it is about the money. I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't know, would you be stoked if your wife left you for a male sex robot?
No.
And would you maybe judge him and her? He just there and
Well,
says,
in that scenario, I'm not hanging out with my ex-wife's sex robot. No chance. There's no scenario where that's happening.
like, if I had one that just talked about how great I am, would you find that an interesting conversation? Oh, I love Ben so much, Eric. Don't you agree? Like, wouldn't that?
You know how much fun that would be to to like make fun of that, like just go along with it. It would be so much fun.
So you do it just because you'd want to mock me.
Yes.
It's not that you actually think she'd bring anything
1000%.
worthwhile to the conversation. You're like, I just want to make fun of him for having a sex bot, so yeah, let me meet your sex bot. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess. Not that you actually think it'd be a worthwhile conversation, to just be an opportunity for ridicule.
What do you think an iris would cost, like in today's dollars? More
Buying
than a
or
house?
leasing?
Well, purchasing, say straight up buying. You have to get. I mean, you get a loan, I assume. It'd be like
If it
I think
literally
it'd be
can
like
do
a house.
everything in your
Yeah.
house, if it can do all the cooking and cleaning and dog whatever, yeah, it seems like it'd be pretty expensive. Plus the sex, yeah, I think it'd be pretty expensive. Plus, if something goes wrong, you can call customer service and they'll come deal with it. Some poor sack will have to come. I mean, I did love that those guys get there and like they clock Jack Quaid immediately. But they're like, "Oh, sir, totally fine. We'll clear this mess right up." And then when they get to the van, they're like, "Oh, this guy totally fucking modded that. He is so fucked." It's great. They're like, "Oh yeah," because it's just a problem they see all the time. Like, "Oh yeah, this guy is rat fucked. He changed it." Then sadly, the one guy dies.
Well, and the legalities of it too. Like he would still be charged with the murder. It's his robot. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh
He
yes.
modded it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. But he was trying to get away with it by destroying her before the mods were known, I guess.
But wouldn't it still be like, yeah, there's no way she would have killed that guy if you hadn't modded her? Like, I suppose, can you prove that he did?
Yeah, if his plan went off originally, I don't know if he could have got away with it or not. I mean, there's camera footage inside, right, that's recording everything. So they would have seen her do the killing, but if he did a reset, maybe they could have determined that he didn't do a mod. I don't know. His plan was, I mean, is a stretch to begin with, but then everything quickly unravels. Then it's like, yeah, you're screwed. I don't think there's any way you can blame it all on just a robot going haywire that much.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just like tied the guy up and taken the money and just left. You know?
Yeah.
She knew how to get into the safe. Or just like go there when he's not there and take all the money.
Well, she didn't want him to come after her, but yeah. Because
Well,
nobody
I
else knew
think
about
she also wanted to kill him. That was
Yeah.
the thing.
Do the perfect
Yeah.
crime. This is like a perfect crime movie and didn't work.
I mean, and it's funny that on I mean, what really causes everything to go downhill is because Jack Quaid wants to say goodbye. If he doesn't want to say goodbye, it goes off how they expect it to.
Right. He just told
But
her to go
he
to
has
sleep
this
and wipe her. Yeah.
and then she comes like, "Why are you talking to her like that?" And then she walks away, and they walk away, and she figures out how to escape.
That's one of those like Austin Powers, like, I have a gun. Like I can go shoot her right now. I was like, no, hold on, let's go talk in the other room and give her a chance to escape.
Yeah. It's like you can't just tell her she's gonna get shut down. That's cruel. But he wants to leave on a positive note, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's also weird that you would program a robot to not know that it's a robot. That would seem like a bad idea. That it would think it's a human.
So you want it to know it's a robot and it's designed to just meet your needs. You don't want it to even really have a personality.
I think that's danger zone. Because then if the robot does find out that it is a robot.
Well, the Patrick model figured out he was a robot, and he didn't seem to mind.
That's true.
He pieced it together over the years.
Good point.
Yeah, the memories were real to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I'd give this movie like two stars. I didn't.
Ooh.
Yeah, didn't really like it all that much. I liked Sophie Thatcher. She's going places. But Jack Quaid, why are we putting that dude in shit?
What was wrong with his performance?
He's an Oppenheimer. He just seems like I suppose he was supposed to be kind of an annoying twerp.
Yes, even if that's his persona all the time and it doesn't work, I thought it worked perfectly for this role.
Do you like him in The Boys? Do you watch that show?
Fine. He's fine. So the first like 2 seasons of The Boys. He's fine. He's not
Kevin,
amazing.
You a big The Boys fan?
Yeah, I enjoyed The Boys. I've watched the first 2 seasons as well.
I've watched every episode of that show.
So you
by
like
far
Jack Quaid?
No, he's by far the worst part of it. Towards the third and I think there's a 4th season, it's more about Homelander than it is. He's actually like a tertiary character at that point.
Yeah, I mean, for
Jack
what
Quaid.
he's supposed to do, it seems fine. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Like I, for the most part, kind of would forget that he's Randy Quaid's son,
And Meg Ryan. He's Meg Ryan's son.
But then there was
too.
one shot where he looked just like, or Dennis. So excuse me, Dennis Quaid, not Randy. Dennis Quaid. And there's one shot where
Randy
like, oh my
Quaid
god,
would be way better.
yeah. One shot where it's like, oh man, you look just like. It was one of the dinner table scenes where it's like, oh man, you went full Dennis in this shot. Like, holy shit! For just a quick second, I saw like your dad in The Substance. It was just like, oh man, boom. Very similar there for a second. I thought he was good in this role. I mean, yeah, not breathtakingly amazing, but good.
He was
but
well cast anyway.
Yeah. My problems with the movie aren't with his performance, really. And if you think it should have focused on that relationship less, fair enough. But that's not his fault. But I'm more 3. I mean, I think it's more good than bad. Not a lot more good than bad, but I had fun with it. It's tough because it did the unfair thing. I just kept comparing it to other movies that I liked more, which isn't fair, but that's what I was doing in my head a lot of the time. I wanted it to either be just more silly and fun, more goofy, gory kills, like more overt revenge would have been more fun, or a lot like smarter. You know, let's maybe explore what it would really mean to be able to have a quote unquote partner that you can tell to do whatever and they can't say no. But I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was 3.5 stars for me. I had a lot of fun watching it, but thinking back on it and the stupidity of Jack Quaid was a little bit too high because he had to do some really stupid things in order for the movie to happen.
Yes.
So that kind of brought it down for me. And the comparisons to other movies that you were saying, that I was doing that as well. Those are 4 or 5 star movies, like Her in Ex Machina. So, but I still had a good time, and Sophie Thatcher is great.
Yeah, she's the number one reason to watch the movie. I mean, she's what elevates it, especially in the middle. In the beginning, she's playing like a pretty boring, generally supportive partner, and then she gets smarter, and then it gets better, and it really ratchets up. Like her performance just gets better and better and better throughout the movie. I mean, it's good all the way through. She is the number one reason to watch it. I'm with you.
All right, there we go.
Companion. Well, let's go back to the year of our Lord, 1997.
Jurassic Park?
No, that's 4 years too late. Jurassic Park's 93.
Oh God, you're so right.
Although,
I'm out of it.
I love Jurassic
Mission
Park.
Impossible 1?
Close. You're very close. I think that's 96. I am excited. I did actually seriously contemplate a Mission Impossible movie, in anticipation for whatever.
Can I interest you in Mission Impossible 2?
No.
The rewatch.
I selected it once, and it was okay.
I know.
It's probably the only Mission Impossible movie I'm probably okay with never seeing again. I'll probably rewatch them all again at some point. Okay. So this is gonna be a random bit of trivia. If you know this bit of trivia, it'll give the movie dead away, and if you don't know this random bit of trivia, it'll be just like completely worthless. But I'm gonna go for it here. So. The U.S. Laserdisc release of this film is notorious among Laserdisc collectors as being extremely prone to laser rot, a form of optical disc degradation due to repeat production issues at the Sony DADC facility where the discs were produced. This one's notoriously, the Laserdisc version of this movie is very prone to rot. One of the worst offenders. Does this help anybody?
So Laserdiscs go bad?
I gotta say, I wasn't a Laserdisc owner, so.
Neither was I. I saw one. I remember seeing the one for the first time in high school. Like a teacher had one. It's like, what?
My rich cousin had one. He had a Laserdisc display.
I think we all had a rich cousin that had one.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like the size of a record, right? Basically.
Yeah. But I didn't know they went bad. That's funny.
I didn't either. Well, I guess so. Was it the same way that like CDs scratched, or are we talking a different? You said
it's like rot, like
it would mold, or
it's not. I don't know that it's technically mold, but yes, it's some sort of chemical process where the chemical integrity of the disc degrades to the point where you can't watch it anymore. I mean, I think this will happen eventually with DVDs. I think they last a lot longer. But the discs themselves will physically degrade. It's happened with all electronics. I mean, Nintendo cartridges, like those will just degrade internally. In the way like, old film will sometimes degrade. Not even talking about the ones that self-combust, but at some point, if it's not preserved,
yeah, so Scorsese is trying to get all those things
as much as possible. Yeah, once it's preserved film history.
Oh, I know a movie from '97, Titanic.
It is from '97, but this is not Titanic. It's not the movie. Let's see. A novelization of this film was published in June 1997 by Max Collins. I won't go there. That's not helpful. I don't want to give it away yet. I want to have a little fun with this one. Just a smidge longer. So this was the 5th highest grossing film of '97. So yeah, not Titanic, because that was number 1 with the bullet. It earned $315 million worldwide. And I'll give you, it received 2 Academy Award nominations. Best Sound and Best Film Editing, and it did lose both of those awards to Titanic. So there we go. Titanic connection. This was absolutely a popular movie in 1997. This is nothing obscure. I promise you've heard of this movie.
I think a Jurassic Park movie came out in '97.
Lost World, that's what you're wanting to guess?
Yeah.
It's not Lost World. Let's see. Let's throw a couple of actors in here. William H. Macy, Dean Stockwell. Not the stars, but they are in this movie.
It's like Magnolia?
Close. Magnolia's 99. I love me some Magnolia. It's not Magnolia.
Fargo?
Ooh, so close. Fargo's 96. I do love Fargo. Let's see here. Let's narrow it down. It's a political action thriller is the genre according to Wikipedia. See if that helps.
Is it? I just talked about this movie today with somebody. Is it Air Force One?
It is Air Force One. That is it. Oh my God.
Get off my plane.
I saw this movie in the theater in '97. Loved it. Claimed it was my favorite movie for a while. Then I haven't seen it since.
Your favorite movie?
For like a hot minute when I was in junior high, I wanted to try to sound cool, so I said Air Force One. I didn't want to say like Star Wars. I thought it'd be more interesting to say Air Force One. So yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm looking for a fun, silly kind of action movie. I
don't know if I've seen this in 20 years.
I haven't seen it, so I'm ready for something. Should be pretty fun. So it's technically on Prime if you have like the MGM Plus add-on, which you probably don't. I think it's also on YouTube TV. Otherwise, it does cost money, but it's where I could find it.
Cool.
I was going to do the director too. The director, Wolfgang
Peterson?
Yeah. I was looking at his oeuvre. Like, that guy's, I mean, nothing mind blowing, but like consistently good stuff. And I've never seen Das Boot. I need to see that's on my bucket list. But I don't want to make you watch that's a 4-hour German sub movie, Eric. So I don't know if you want to see it, but it's supposed to be really tense and exciting. But he did like The Never-Ending Story, Enemy Mine, In the Line of Fire, Outbreak, Perfect Storm, Troy. You know, like
Troy, yeah.
Solid hits.
Yeah, Perfect Storm was good.
Oh yeah. So like Outbreak, In the Line of Fire. Really, really solid. For that guy.
Is this because of the $400 billion plane from Saudi Arabia?
I did think of that, maybe. Mostly, I've just been wanting the excuse to revisit this movie I haven't seen for a long time. And I think it sounds fun. But yes, it did maybe bring the concept of Air Force One back in my head, so it's percolating around. It's like, oh, hey. You know, and I did watch like The Fugitive for the first time like a year ago, and that was really fun. So give me a nice Harrison Ford, silly action movie. I know you got, was it Gary Oldman as the villain? Like,
yeah.
Sign me up. Should be a good time. Air Force
Well,
One.
I've never seen it, so I'm excited.
What, you've never seen it? Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy heck. Now I'm doubly excited. Okay.
Never seen it, but I was talking to someone about it today.
I think it came out the same year as Twister, actually. Is Twister 97?
Could be. Or 96, 97, yeah.
Okay. I'm off a year. Okay. Well, I'm excited. We're talking Air Force One next week. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Goodbye.
Be careful with your robots.